PoorMan'sPoetry.com podcast.
Yeah, to whom it may benefit, I pray you find some benefit.
Okay. We are here for episode 64.
Correction, episode 84.
My demons, I pen the issue. I wrote most of this album on the toilet. My pen and tissue, porcelain throne, my crown on. Hung my head royal flush, now my crown gone. Home is where the heart is, and I found home. The crib melanated, made of brown stone. Sick of hearing brick talk. Flipping work more often than the soul gon' slap on flip flops. On a lifetime of long walks, this album is a product of a lifetime of long talks. Can't convert it to no TikTok. I'm crunched for time. Work out with the wristwatch. Clench fist, the open hand. The reaper gon' get beat up. I need help, I reach up. My angels getting features. If you taking pictures, get the angle on my features. Grateful for the failures and the lessons of my teachers. Could have been a politician, teacher, or a preacher, but I am a soul speaker. This way it ain't no rules, let my words connect deeper. I say to whom it may benefit, I pray you find some
Make sure y'all check this out.
Yeah, to whom it may benefit. Wordsmith out this thing, man. I appreciate everybody for listening. I appreciate my boy Duke on the
As you can see, we got a special guest in the house. My boy Wes Lee the Wordsmith in the building. Poet, engineer, HBCU alumni.
This was to whom it may benefit. Wordsmith. Nah, I'm just playing, y'all. Thank you again. Wordsmith out. For real this time.
For sure, man. Make sure y'all go check out To Whom It May Benefit, out now on all your streaming platforms. That's his latest spoken word album out now. It's up for a Grammy nomination, correct? For sure. Yeah, but that's what we talking about today, To Whom It May Benefit, and we also talking about his what really drew me into him was his last album, the Cope Deluxe album. So yeah, man, so what's going on, man? I appreciate you coming up, man. I mean, I've been wanting to get you on here for a long time, man.
Man, I appreciate you for having me. I got nothing but love and gratitude for your platform and what you do with it. I'm a big supporter of all things that push the culture forward, and I really feel like you do that in a very intentional way.
Appreciate it.
From the moniker to what it is that you're actually talking about,
right,
to the artists that you select to share your platform with, and so on and so forth. So I'm grateful.
For sure, bro. I definitely appreciate it, man. So first let's go back a little bit. What made you wanting to start being a poet and start rapping like how you do with the bars and using the literary devices like how you do?
Man, so I dealt with a lot of death in my early life, right?
Okay.
A lot of heavy hitters passed away when I was young. First funeral, open casket, 4 years old. Not gonna go too deep and make it like super heavy and dark, but I feel like that's an important part because it was pivotal in me becoming the artist that I am.
Okay.
I'm the oldest of many siblings, and I kind of like raised them because I've always had like a natural leadership acumen. So as much as I could feel like my parents forced me into that role, I was kind of built for it at the same time. You feel what I'm saying? So I had a little sister. I basically was raising her, and she passed away. I was about 9 years old.
Gotcha.
It was a tough time for me, man. I was going through a lot of grief and trying to figure out how to process that grief. You know what I mean? Because I'm young, but I'm like, wearing a man's shoes, you know, and then also dealing with my emotions as I'm learning what my emotions even are.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? And to deal with a level of a grief of that magnitude was crazy. So I cried for like 3 weeks. It impacted like my cognitive ability for a little while as well, like in my performance in school and so on and so forth.
Gotcha.
Spent a lot of time with counselors, and it was crazy because you never really get over it. You just kind of figure out how to cope.
Right.
That's where the Cope Deluxe came from. You figure out how to cope. It means to deal with something effectively.
Okay, you're right.
You feel me? So I learned how to cope. Poetry ended up being that for me, and I discovered it on and off in elementary school where they would teach like the poetry court lessons, like the units on poetry.
Right.
But when I got in middle school, I had a lot of black language arts teachers. And, when they saw my speaking capability, they really, really, like, poured into me. they're like, oh no, you need to speak, you need to do this, because the other kids would try to silence me because they hated how smart I was. They saying I think I know it all because I always knew the answers. Shawty, I'm just paying attention in class.
Right.
You know, but so when we did the poetry unit then, with those people pouring into me, it just hit the switch for me. And the first major piece I wrote was actually about the grief process of losing my little sister. Okay. And I was about 12 at this time. And I wrote it, and then they had a talent show for the class, and I read that piece out of my journal, and there was people that was singing, dancing, doing all this different stuff that I thought was just way more magnificent than what I was doing. But I won. Right. You know, for a piece about my little sister.
Yours is way more impactful.
You feel me? And I couldn't see it at that time because that was my first time, and I'm reading it out the journal, right? I'm not seasoned yet. Okay. But ever since that point, I realized how good I felt when I had the opportunity to express those things verbally, you know, and how I saw other people connect to what I was saying when I'm saying it. Right. Because it was shocking. It's like, dang. Like, you see people getting pulled in. You see people, like, healing while you're dealing with that stuff. You see people hurting with you. You know what I'm saying? And through the whole story, they along for the ride. They strapped in. Right. You know, and that feeling was something that I just couldn't escape. I'm like, I need more of this.
I love it.
So I kept writing in my journal, and then I continued to grow as that. I wasn't performing as much through high school, but if you knew me, you knew me. Okay, right? And then when I
knew what you could do.
You feel me? And when I got to college, it was just freestyling a lot with my boys in the dorm. You know how it was, right? And they're like, yo, if you coming up with stuff like this off the dome, imagine if you wrote something. So I'm like, all right. So I started writing like a cappella verses in the journal, and then trying to find beats to match them with, you know, after the fact. But it was like, you know, hey, just perform it a cappella. So then there was an open mic on camp, a word open mic on camp my freshman year. I went in there, did what I do. They loved me. Founder came up to me. He said, hey, man, I need you to join Word, man. Da-da-da-da-da. And I joined Word, and the rest is history. You feel me?
That's what's up, man. I mean, I kind of wish I had that outlet back when I was younger. I mean, I did write when I was younger, and but like you said, just being able to cope with certain things and being able to have an outlet to release, you know, what you're feeling. I love it. So, I wish I would have dove more into your new album, the new spoken word album, to whom it may benefit. But like I said, I'm more kind of I got introduced to you through the Coupe Deluxe album, and so let's talk about that a little bit. What were some of your favorite tracks off of that album?
Man, the Coupe Deluxe is very special to me. I dropped the EP. It was the Coupe EP. It only had 5 tracks on there. Okay. And then it just was deluxe, right? Like, so I had to go deluxe. And my favorite tracks off the Coupe album, I definitely love House of Pain.
House of Pain.
House of Pain is so smooth. Yeah. And the way I popped it off was just undeniable. Like, it's one of those things that made me like, oh, did you hear him? I grew up in a house where I felt a little pain. Uncle Curtis used to bluff about the snow and how it never blow. And in this episode, it should have rained, homie. Umbrella at home, please don't rain on me. Got charisma like the president, you should have reigned, homie. Gifted with the penmanship of Kris Kringle, grab the reins, homie.
I definitely felt that too. I got Uncle Curtis, so I felt that too when I heard that bar. Yeah.
And then Tyler Perry, House of Pain, man. Uncle Curtis,
yeah, the double entendre.
Curtis Blow, Snow in the Bluff. Then went to rain because we just changed the weather on them, so we sticking with the weather theme. Then took that, the rains, Kris Kringle, penmanship, the snow associated with Christmas. And imagine how magical Kris Kringle penmanship is. That's Santa Claus. He writes you on the naughty list, you get no gifts. You write you on the good list, he pulling up to the crib magically and dropping them off in the chimney. Man. That's magical penmanship. Absolutely. Man. And it's a gift. I'm gifted with the penmanship of Kris Kringle. Grab the reins, homie.
It went over my head. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even catch all those, but yeah, god damn, this boy, he's definitely gifted, man.
So House of Pain for sure. I love Cope, the title track and the intro, right? Because it's a poem. You know, it's my namesake, right? I popped it off with a poem. Okay. And the poem was hard, and you know that, you heard it, right? Right. And then my boy Duke, he sang the hook on there.
That's your producer.
Yeah. My brother, my producer, he was out in China, and he sent me that. He's like, bro, I left these open. I want you to rap on this song. And at first, it was a full song, 2 verses, 2 hooks. And I was trying to write something to it, and I'm just like, I want to use this, but I don't think it's right for me to rap on this.
Okay.
And I want to keep your hooks. I'm like, just send me the hook. So he sent me the hook, and I started spitting a poem a cappella. And I was like, yo, this would transition dope into that hook that you got. So then that was how that track came about. It was just I cut everything up, faded that in, let the hook carry us out into the intro, and it ended up working out, perfectly. I think it did exactly what it came to do.
Definitely.
So Cope, House of Pain, I love Better Days.
Yes.
I love Okay.
Okay is tough too. Yeah.
I love.
That's one of my favorite joints. Better Days and Okay.
Yeah.
And what was it?
Reflections.
Metamorphosis.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the, not the outro, but the
Supreme Kai.
Yeah, the one from my son. Yeah.
And his name is Wes Lee Kai. So Supreme Kai, DBZ character, etc. But kind of God body representation. So I always want to, you name things the power that you want them to have.
Definitely.
And that's why I named him Kai as his middle name, and Wesley is my middle name, but it's also my namesake, Wes Lee the Wordsmith.
Right.
So his name is very powerful, and I really wanted to make something dedicated to him when he was born, because he helped transform me. Metamorphosis, right?
There you go.
I love Dusty Vinyls as well, because I just kind of let him have it on there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You're
like no hook, no, just bars.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm the stone that the builder refused. I'm built different. Spent a lot of time on courts. I'm still bricking. Posing after the shot, a still image. They say they keeping it real, it's still gimmicks. Cubic zirconia in a steel pendant. F a Barbie world where women is still winning. Devil in a red dress still sinning in silk linens. Crying over spilled milk. I table my problems, the milk thicken. Like the plot do.
God damn.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm getting carried
away. Nah. Definitely not. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Jesus. So let's talk more about let's go back. You was talking about still bricking. You play basketball?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Been in camp since I've been going to basketball camp since I was 5, bro.
Okay.
Like I real deal have had my highs and my lows with hooping, but I'm nice enough that I can get recognition from anybody that hoop if they hoop with me.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
And I still pick it up. People still, I'm not in my prime. They're like, man, this dude fast as a mug. Like D Rose was definitely one of my favorites to watch when I was, coming up. And before that, Chris Paul. I loved Kemba Walker. I've always been a guard man.
Got you.
I'm small, so I've always only been able to play guard.
Yeah.
So.
I can definitely see that.
Yeah,
for sure. So let's talk about these. The most recent performance I saw, your live spoken word performance, which was in Atlanta with the summer band.
Yep.
How was that?
It was amazing.
Okay.
So I was there, so I drove from Miami to Atlanta to make that happen. I got invited by Cool Kid Productions, dope, black-owned woman production company, who does nothing but show love to independent artists. Also a Savannah State alum.
Okay.
And that's why you see like the whole like network in there is like Savannah State alumni. Super dope. So she wanted to host her first in-person, Earsex Certified Awards event.
Okay.
She does it, but when she started, COVID came, so it had to be virtual. I actually was the first winner of the award when she rolled it out, so I won it for the Cope Deluxe.
Nice.
Right? So we did that, and she's like, all right, I want to do it in person this time. I got this show. Wes, will you perform amongst other people? I'm like, for sure. I drove up there, and Summer Soul, the band was there, and I love performing with a live band. I've done it a number of times, never on purpose though. I never be like, hey, bring me a band. They'll just be there, and then we just vibe. I'm like, hey, y'all just freestyle.
Very organic.
Yeah, we created on the spot. We crafting it. So it was incredible. All the performances were dope. The energy was dope. It was super intimate. My boy No Stress, who's a videographer, video editor, and
I do know you're talking about.
Yeah, he's an alum, and he's a part of Bonzeye Productions as well.
Nice.
He produces, he raps as well, And he actually was the winner this go round. So it was dope to have the 2 years that the award has been given, it has been won by my camp.
Home team.
You
Yes,
feel
sir.
what I'm saying?
I got you.
So it was amazing though. That band is dope, man. If anybody need a band in Atlanta, Summer Show the band.
Okay. So are you from Savannah? Where are you from? What made you want to go to Savannah State, that HBU?
Man, I'm from so many places, bro.
Okay.
So I was born in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
Spent some time there. Spent a little bit of time in New York.
Okay.
And then in Brooklyn. And then moved to Atlanta, or the Atlanta area. You know, I'm ready to tell it. It's not Atlanta. But, hey, and I can't do nothing but respect that she more Atlanta than I am.
Yeah, I got you.
So, you know, you got, I was in Marietta, in that area, like over there on Booth Road.
Okay.
Spent some time over there, went to school out there. Then we made our way, you know, as we matriculated through the social classes in life, because we was advancing, right? So we moved to Cobb County, in like Powder Springs.
Okay.
And I went to McEachern High School.
Gotcha.
So out there in the Powder Springs area, and then as I was going through school, you know, trying to figure out what I wanted to do, I was wrestling and stuff like that. So that was actually why I stopped hooping too, is to wrestle.
You sound
the seasons conflict.
That's the same path I went on.
Yeah.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
you was a wrestler too?
I did in 10th grade.
Hey, bro, man.
9th grade, actually. 9th grade. I did wrestling.
Hey,
yeah.
it's a different beast, but that adrenaline that I was getting from there was unmatched.
Trying to get stronger, bigger, you know.
Slamming people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like trying not to get slammed.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
So, yeah, I went to school out there and I was playing sports, so I wasn't working at that exact time when it was time for me to start filling out applications.
Gotcha.
I wanted to go to Georgia Tech originally because, you know, I always wanted to be an engineer.
Makes sense.
So I wanted to go to Tech, but there was application fees for all the stuff when the time came, and I couldn't pay them, and my mom wasn't trying to pay them. She was kind of dragging her feet on it. I'm like, I can't pay it myself, so I need to go to college, though. I need to make sure I keep moving. So then, boom, Savannah State had a free application. So I filled it out. You know, of course, got accepted like everybody does. And that was it. The rest is history.
That's what's up.
It wasn't until I got there that I really realized that how good of a decision that it was.
Okay.
Because it kept me connected to my roots, my foundation, the soil that we stand on. Like, meeting people like Dr. Jamal Toure, Dr. Carolyn Jordan, who is the great-granddaughter of Richard R. Wright. You know, and seeing her family, and, you know, they are from Philly. You know, they came down here to continue to push the legacy forward, and them doing the National Freedom Day and all the different things that they do, and integrating me into that, because they, again, see what I do as a young black man, and they pour into that. That network taught me so much about love, about community, about our history, about the significance of what we do. Because, you know, it's a lot of times we doubt ourselves as black people.
Absolutely.
And, you know, you talk about the maze. You could talk about the rat trap. You could talk about the slavery that they try to impose on us. You could talk about all of that. But I pride myself now, as a result of my HBCU experience and the people that I met, as somebody that transcends those boundaries. The glass ceiling don't apply to me. And I'm not just talking, you know, out the side of my neck. I mean that. And I prove that.
I see that.
Things I've done, right?
Right.
And that's what I try to show to everybody, because life and death lies on the tongue, right? The power of life and death lies on the tongue. If you speak ill onto yourself or others, or if you speak limiting things onto yourself or others, you limit yourself.
Yes.
Right? So, me, I ain't never been on that. I'm like, man, y'all could talk about slavery and all of that all day long. You know, they did what they did so that we could be greater. Not so that we can continue to rack our brain with the same issue that they dealt with already.
I got some homeboys I'll be trying to explain the same thing to. You're absolutely right.
So they need to go to a HBCU then.
Yes,
if
sir.
They didn't go already.
I kind of wish I would have went to HBCUs. I mean, I went to Georgia Southern. I didn't finish, but I think that was just part of me just getting wrapped up in life and everything like that too. But I also think if I would have went to Savannah State, it would have kept me a little bit more focused and grounded, just being around my own people and, you know, things that will help me, you know, stay a little bit more focused.
And they don't let you fail. You know what I'm saying? They don't let you fail. Like, it's times where professors like, hey, bro, just because of how big of an impact that you have on the students in the community, you get an A in my class, you good.
Nice.
Like, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying it like that, like they didn't make me still do the work.
Right.
I still had to work for it.
For sure.
But it's like what's understood ain't got to be explained kind of thing. They know what I'm on.
Right.
They said, this right here, this counts as Africana studies. What you're doing in the community is building history. And we're learning about African history, African American history.
Right.
African history. Pre, post diaspora. You're representing and embodying that. So that's what you're getting credit for.
Nice.
It's not I'm just pulling it out of nowhere, right? Because of who you are.
Right.
So it was just dope to have that push to where you have those levels of uncertainty and you have people that you can relate to with no boundary. Because that's the thing, you know how like you talk to some other types of professors and you have that culture or race boundary, and it's not that we are discriminating against one another, but we just from different places.
Yeah,
We're
don't
limited.
truly.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that like they don't really kind of understand you a little bit.
We're limited to our understanding, our ability to understand things. You don't want to deliberately misunderstand me. Nobody does, right?
Sure.
I don't come and talk to you and be like, you know what, I want to misunderstand what he's saying.
Right.
I want to get this guy all wrong. Right? Nobody does. White people, black people, Asians, whatever. We're limited to our understanding.
True.
And me and you too, right? People can come to me and they can tell me something all day long and I'm not going to be able to understand it because my framework won't allow me to. You got your computer and got different processors. It's not going to be able to run programs on that's only designed for Windows.
Facts.
But they're both comparable products.
True.
They both are powerful. They both do a great job. They're both very successful and they have their uses, right? Mm-hmm. Just like us. Right. Both very powerful, very successful, have our uses. But if we got different processors, it ain't gonna work. True.
That's what's up.
So shout out to SSU.
Yes, shout them out. You was out there at homecoming yesterday. How'd you enjoy that?
I loved it.
Sure.
The energy that was out there, seeing how good that God is, not only to myself but to those around me. Mm-hmm. Seeing how good that God is in the process of being to those that need Him more. In certain times of our life than others may, because God is always there. Sometimes we got to call on His power a little bit more than others. You know what I'm saying? True. It's like having a 9-tailed fox. You know what I mean? On some Naruto, you don't always need it, but sometimes you got to go full chakra mode. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
So I'm blessed and glad to see us all back in the same place, and that some people haven't changed. Sometimes that's for the best. Right?
Sometimes, for certain people.
Sometimes that's for the best is that you ain't changed. And by ain't changed, I don't mean that you haven't elevated.
Progressed,
You're progressed. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, you're still you. You feel me? Because me, I've always had a strong sense of identity. I've been the same me since I was a kid. Mm-hmm. Everybody will tell you I ain't changed today, but my environment changed. My knowledge changed. The resources that I have changed. Mm-hmm. And so on and so forth. And that's the same for everybody else. You the same dude. If you had more, you would be able to do more, and now you got more. True. But if you change, you can have more and not be able to do that more that you're capable of.
That's true.
You feel what I'm saying?
You'll be actually doing less, probably.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it. I totally understand. So, let's get into Bonzeye Productions a little bit. You want to talk about that?
Bonzeye Productions, man. So, I know anybody that's an artist or anybody that pursues anything, I know you can relate to this as well. Mm-hmm. You kind of have your people that you just kind of do things with on a whim. Like, that's just my boy. We always in the studio together. Pull up to the studio. Hey, I just wrote this new song. Hey, I need you to put a verse on there, whatever. Mm-hmm. And you do it for so long and you just want to keep getting better and better. And as you learn, you realize this is a business. Like, you got to decide, you got to make a decision. It's a time where you got to flip the switch and say, are we doing this for business and longevity, for generational wealth? Or is this a game?
Exactly.
Or is this a game? What are we doing it for?
Exactly.
And as we learned the different ins and outs here and there about music and what we needed to add to the arsenal to be successful, it was like, we got to have some business behind us so people will not only take us serious, but you get access to a lot of different resources as a business that you don't have as a Sean Edwards or as a Wes Lee the Wordsmith, right? Mm-hmm. So as I increased my business acumen and grew, I realized that that's what we needed behind us. That's what was going to break the glass ceiling.
Gotcha.
Right? So, yeah, I created Bonzeye Productions. My uncle is my co-founder. He was in prison for a lot of my life. So when he got out, we were kind of trying to build a relationship. There was a lot of my other family that just kind of disassociated with him because he was in prison.
Gotcha.
But I ain't like that. You know what I mean? I accept people for who they are. You know, I love you. I manage our relationship.
Gotcha.
You don't realize how important relationship management is.
Yes.
You know, it's going to be certain boundaries and parameters that exist within our relationship until certain things are proven or earned. But I'm never going to keep myself from having a relationship with you because of the decisions that you made.
Right.
Unless they directly were a detriment to myself or my immediate family. You understand what I'm saying? You being a detriment to yourself has nothing to do with me.
True.
Now, while you going through that, though, you can stay over there and go through that over there. Because, you know, desperate times call for desperate measures. If it can happen, it will. So it's all about the potential. It's all about how many ingredients are in that recipe for disaster.
True.
I don't like recipe for disaster.
And what you feed into it.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You got to stay over there because I can't. Black, he said.
All right, we are back with Wes Lee the Wordsmith. All right, so let's see. Let's talk about I know you talk about a lot of synchronicity and life path numbers in your music. What's your experience with that, or what do those things mean to you?
Man, so I already know what you're talking about. That 7 divine, man. That divine.
Yes, divine.
7,
yes,
divine. 8 is 1 from 9. So with that, it's like they definitely mean something to me, man. It's definitely like it's like a trail of crumbs that leads me to the loaf. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like when I see those numbers, they confirm for me that I'm on the right path, that I'm on the right track, that
right.
I'm moving the way that I need to move. And they often come after I make like a big decision that I've contemplated on for some time, or when I'm contemplating a tough decision and I'm like trying to get the confidence or the gall to like peel away from something and just put all my efforts over here. They always come to like literally comfort and remind me, like, you know, you just start seeing 777 in the weirdest of places, right? I'm sitting there doing inventory at work and the SKU number on the part is 777. I'm like, come on, bro.
Right.
You know what? You can't make this up. What's the chances of that?
Yeah.
You know, you see it on people's license plates. You catch it on stuff that's not just the clock. And I be feeling like people kind of be cheating the clock. They be like anticipating it. You know, like start developing muscle memory for 444. So it's like when you see it in stationary places, that's when I feel like it mean the most, right? Like you go to a calendar and you just so happen to see 777 somewhere on the calendar. It's like, come on, bro. I couldn't have planned that.
That's true.
That's all the angels. That's all God. So I definitely pay close attention to those things, and synchronicity is super important too. You talk synchronicity, you talk synergy. You talk synergy, you talk alignment.
Right.
You talk being in alignment, you talk about operating at maximum capacity or optimal capacity. You talk optimal capacity, you're talking performance.
True.
You talk optimal performance, you talking longevity. You feel what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So that's what they mean to me.
That's what's up. Who are some of your biggest musical influences, like when you first started rapping and things like that?
Man, so I'm gonna be a little bit all over the place because I got a love for a lot of people. Eminem, Snoop Dogg, and Lil Wayne were like my big 3 when I was growing up.
Okay.
The Walkman, CD player joint, you know, and my dad had his CDs, you know, Doggy Style. You know, the cover itself was pretty enticing to me at that age. I'm like, oh man, that boy grabbing the butt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Very colorful and vibrant.
Cartoons
he
got you.
Doing
Yeah.
That. I ain't had no business doing that. But so I picked it up, I popped it in the CD player, and it's just like, you know, I instantly latched on to it because it's kind of like that law of primacy, right? What you learn first is what you learn the best.
Right.
So it may not even have been fire for real. In fact, I can't remember. But I know that was what I listened to every day because it's what it was. I developed a relationship with it. And then Eminem and Lil Wayne, same thing. You know, my pops had some CDs like that. I'm pulling them out the crate because now I want to listen to something else. And, you know, that To Kill a Mockingbird,
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? That I can't even remember all of them right now. The Real Slim Shady. I love the joint where Stan obviously is a classic. All of that, the whole tape that was about his daughter Haley. I think it was like, was it Curtain Call?
or Marshall Mathers LP or something.
Yeah,
one
Marshall
of those.
Mathers LP, Curtain Call, all of those different ones are things that I was exposed to at that time because of just accessibility.
Right.
And then Lil Wayne, you know, same thing. So when I was listening to those, I always had a natural inclination for bars.
Okay.
So like that's what I've always liked about music, to the point where people used to like hate my taste in music and stuff because they're like, man, this boy always trying to make you think. I don't want to listen to nothing like that. My bro, did you hear what he said? Like, I remember being on the school bus, like, hey, did you hear that? Like, listen to this one line, and people would be looking like, all right, you know what I'm saying? So those were my big three, like starting off, and as I kind of grew, you know, I got introduced to Wale. I loved Wale initially. Kind of, I don't know what he started doing. I ain't even gonna go there. But he started doing something that wasn't what he was doing at first, which is what we loved about him. Common,
definitely.
Lauryn Hill, right? Of course, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. But the thing that really got me stuck on Lauryn Hill is not even nothing I heard on the project. It was a live performance I saw her do when she lost her voice. It was on YouTube.
Okay.
It's called The Mystery of Iniquity. And she was performing that poem, and she was playing her guitar.
Oh, that was on that the Unplugged album, I believe. Right.
Yeah. Incredible.
Definitely.
I fell in love with her from that point on. And then that kind of opened up the floodgates for me and the Refugees, and listening to, you know, all of them. So, yeah, that was really where I started. And then it graduated to J. Cole and Drake's when they kind of came out. And,
I got you.
Rakim.
Nice.
Most Def. Raekwon, Ghostface Killer, RZA, you know, the whole Wu-Tang for real. Those are people that became that remain staples for me, that transcended the test of time. Because I'll be honest, I don't listen to Eminem anymore.
Okay.
I'm not quite as fond of him
as
I once was.
Okay.
Lil Wayne is kind of falling off to me as well from just like from me being interested.
Okay.
Nas was another one of my heavy influences and has transcended the test of time for the most part.
He has.
And The Roots.
Definitely. Black Thought.
Black Thought is him.
He is.
He is him.
Yeah. Especially with the freestyling. Like, he definitely comes off the head, off the dome.
And that's one of the things that inspires me, you know, as a freestyler myself, because it's like, it's not a lot of people that can do it. Nice. But there's almost nobody that can do it at that level. You know what I mean? So it gives you something to look to. So, you know, I have a very, very wide range of influences, but I like brought it into this melting pot of who I am today as an artist. For sure.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I can see a little bit of like the way you do. Like, I think I saw one of your freestyles where it was just like somebody was just like throwing you words, and you just picking the words out. That's what Eminem used to do that before he kind of got signed. That's how people started to take notice to him, and I like that. So out of all the projects that you've done, which one is your favorite project that you've done so far?
It's a hard question, bro. You just stress me out. I'm gonna have to say Diary of a Potted Plant.
Okay.
That was my first ever official release on DSPs. First thing I ever engineered through and through myself on the humble studio setup I had. I had like an old MacBook, bro. Like, man.
I got you.
It used to be crashing all the time. I had a cracked version of Logic Pro.
Oh,
so
man.
that thing was crashing all the time. I had like a little PreSonus interface and a PreSonus mic, like one of those $400 studio kits that all come packaged together.
Yeah.
And
sound like me.
You feel me? Recorded most of it in my dad's kitchen. You know, and then mixed and mastered it myself. And it's mixed and mastered pretty bad. It's not terrible, but it could be. You know, I'm far better now. But it's so bad that I've almost wanted to take it down after comparing it to some of my other stuff. But I feel like that's the seed, though.
True.
That's the seed that's planted. The other projects are literally the branches and the fruit that have sprouted from the seed. That's the plant.
How you evolve.
You can't get rid of the seed.
You cannot.
You can't get rid of the seed. You gotta leave it there. Cause I have some tracks that are, you know, him off of there that just on a whim sound really good. Like, you know, I just the numbers aligned and helped me get it right. You know, get it right enough, right?
Right.
Grow, Roots, Meditation off that project.
Okay.
The big three. Those are crazy.
I'm definitely gonna have to go back and listen to that project. Yeah, man, you sound like me. Like when we first started this podcast, like the first like 2 or 3 episodes, man, we was working with like a little 2-channel mixer here. It was bad, man. I had to like switch back and forth just to play like audio, and it was bad. So I mean, like, but the humble beginnings, it shows the progress of where you started off at to where you're evolving to.
You know what they really show, bro?
What's that?
That you don't make excuses.
True.
When it comes to making, you know, you have a vision, and you're not gonna stop at anything to bring it to reality. Like you gonna make it happen.
True.
Whether it's on the phone, we gotta do the podcast. Like put the phone right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we gonna do it, and we gonna drop something.
For sure.
So that was me. A lot of people make excuses about their craft. Nah, let's do it.
True. For sure. So where do you see yourself evolving for in the future? Evolving with your music, I should say, in Bonzeye Productions.
Bonzeye Productions is gonna be huge. I think it's gonna be a household name.
Okay.
Because of the impact that we're gonna have. It's always super important when you start businesses to have a mission that benefits people outside of yourself, right?
True.
To be able to feed a community, whether that's with service, whether that's with knowledge, whether that's with, you know, security, protection, whatever it is, you got to provide them a service. You know,
True.
A lot of entrepreneurs get it backwards, right? They just want you to buy their stuff. Shop with me because my product is dope.
Right.
And if you don't mess with my product, you hate it. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
I got you.
How common is that mindset? And it's like, nah, we got to add value to y'all.
True.
And y'all are going to continue to mess with us because y'all are our community. And we continue to feed and service our community. That's what it's about. So Bonzeye Productions, I see it being able to establish, you know, to have a headquarters in which we have, you know, we make all of the resources that we talk about accessible, whether that's in a class format for entrepreneurs. If you want to be, you know, a real estate agent to provide your bulk of your income that you use to invest in your other ventures, then we'll partner you with somebody that can train you to be a professional real estate agent. Get your license. We'll figure out how to help you fund your license, whether it's through crowdfunding, whether it's through, you know, a loan from a financial institution, whether we give you that in scholarship, anything like that. We want to be able to help elevate people into what it is that's going to help them continue to help themselves.
I love it.
So it's deeper than music.
For sure.
You know, like I said, we're working on audiobooks right now. Narrating them, audio engineering them, cleaning up dirty, like recovering dirty audio from film and extracted from videos.
Okay.
You know, sound design on the To Whom It May Benefit project. There's a lot of sound design in there. Door closing, AC noises that sound really dirty in the room to give it more of like a real life feel. You hear some of the microphone thumps because it's supposed to be like a live microphone usage. We made all that in the studio.
Nice.
You know, so we're still in progress and growing, but this is a full service production company. I want to make sure my camera team that's in Bonzeye is getting nominated for Emmys. You know, if there's honors that we can achieve in these spaces, we want to push those people that are affiliated with us for those honors, and we want to show them how easy it is.
Dope.
I just submitted my spoken word album for a Grammy. How many people even know the process for Grammy submission?
Exactly.
Right? So I want to show people how easy that is.
For sure.
So I lead by example instead of just telling people how easy it is. Because until you do it, it's just a theory.
True.
You got to have proof. So I like to prove first, then I tell you, or I tell you and then I prove it. But it all got to be in close proximity. I can't tell you 3 years ago and then think that you're supposed to listen to me. Oh, I told you should have listened to me, but I still didn't do it yet.
True.
You know what I mean? So we talking, you got to keep a roof over your head. I want to teach you how easy it is to purchase a home.
True.
You feel me?
In the process of that right now.
We want to eliminate the mentality of the starving artist. Starving artist mentality is not a good one. It's like slavery in an artist space.
Right.
You do not have to sleep in the whip to get on as an artist. You do not have to be homeless because you want to be an artist. When they say, people will tell you all the time they're willing to get it by any means, right? To do whatever it takes. Doing whatever it takes does not mean committing crime.
Not at all. Not at all, people.
Right? Those people
I hope you artists are listening to that. Yeah.
It does not mean robbing people. It does not mean kicking in doors. It does not mean scamming. It does not mean none of that, bro. Doing whatever it takes means doing something that you would not otherwise have wanted to do in order to put you in position to be great.
True.
You feel me? That's what. Yeah. So I'm sorry. I'm very passionate about that.
No, I love your passion, man. I mean, like you definitely have a good business acumen. So I'm loving it. So let's talk about some of the services that you do want to offer with Bonzeye Productions, or that you're offering right now.
Audiobook narration, scoring for audiobooks as well.
Okay.
Scoring for film, whether it's independent or production company associated film, sound design, consultations for artists to get some of the game that I'm sharing right now. We can have a one-on-one session in which we'll talk about what you want to accomplish as an artist and help you better hone in. Oh, sorry.
No, you good.
And help you better hone in on what resources that you need to streamline that process.
Okay.
Because a lot of the time that's wasted is spent because you think you need all of the stuff that you don't. It's really a point A to point B for what you want to do if you know what you want to do.
Right.
If you're a rapper and it's like you think that rapping is the easiest way to get into the game, you're tripping. Easiest way to get into the game. Well, first, what do you want to do? Do you want to make money, or do you just want people to know your name?
Right.
That's where we got to start at. You want to make money, I'm going to teach you how to make money in the game. You feel me?
I got
and
you.
that starts with teaching you how to save money. So I'm going to teach you how to save money in the game. But again, we'll talk one-on-one about what it is that you want to do, and we'll put together something for you to help you get there.
Okay.
And also, put you with the people you need to talk to and coordinate the meetings and handle business for you. We provide management representation as a service as well, but you got to be a good fit for us, though.
Gotcha.
We don't just work with anybody. We're very family oriented. You see the type of love that I show. I can't show that love to just anybody because you make yourself vulnerable.
True.
And you expose weaknesses and different things like that people will take advantage of. I don't have time to use 50% of my energy and my essence to focus on defending myself from whatever could be, coming from you, whilst also trying to give 100% to pushing people forward.
Gotcha.
I can't do both. I got to get these people over here that got the love, the passion, the heart, and the desire to be great and make others great in the process. I got to give them 100%. I'm doing them a disservice otherwise. True. So that's what I say. You got to be a good fit for us. But we do that. What else? Website design.
Okay.
So we got that. Check out our website, bonzeyepros.com. You'll see it. Live performances. So we got dancers, we got singers, we got rappers, we got poets. We're actually gonna try to produce a tiny desk.
That's
so
what's
we
up.
can submit it for the contest. To see if we can get on NPR. So
okay.
Wish us luck on that. But also we offer visual production as well. So graphic design, music videos, photo shoots, set design, creative direction. Like anything an artist can need to be successful, we do that.
That's what's up.
Production for just beats. You need beats, hit us up. So the list goes on because it really is anything that's within our skill set and our resources. That's what we offer. But sometimes we don't know until we have that one-on-one consultation and people say that's what they need. And we're like, oh, we can do that easy.
This man here, yeah. Make sure y'all tap in. Make sure you guys go to bonzeyepro.com and tap in and see what all services he can offer you if you need his help, man. So okay, let's see what else we got here. If there was one skill that you could sacrifice that you have, what do you think that you would probably sacrifice?
Oh, that is a tough question. Who paid you to do this? Where you learn to interview? I'm joking, bro. One skill that I have that I could sacrifice. Which one would I sacrifice? That is a hard question. Like, this is one of those questions that you see on the SAT, and you know how, like, if you get it wrong, you lose a full point. If you skip it, you only lose a quarter point.
These kids don't even know about the SAT nowadays, but yeah, I got you.
That's how tough that question is.
There's no pressure. You don't got to answer.
No, man. I want to, though. I like the challenge. To be honest, it probably would be my ability to justify things.
Okay.
The reason why is because just as that can be a strength, it's an equal detriment. It's equally as detrimental. Because, and I'm sure you can relate to this, right? As an intellectual person, is that like when you get to a level of a certain level of intellect, you can justify anything, even really bad decisions, and they will make so much sense. But you know that you shouldn't do it. But you can make it make sense enough that you still won't believe it all the way. You'll just know that, okay, I can justify this, right? But you know that it's still bad.
Right.
But you can articulate it to somebody else in a way that they now believe in it as a good decision.
I hear you.
And that's bad. That is bad. And it's like,
but it can also be a good thing too, depending on who you're dealing with, especially within business, because if you're trying to build your business.
Yes, business justification, is great, whatever. But like I said, like I'm so proficient at it that I've used my power for self-destruction at times.
Same here.
You know what I mean? It's always been beneficial. Like I said, it was a tough question because I'm grateful for all of my skills. But that one right there is one that I'm like, you know what? I could live without that. Because most good decisions don't really need justification.
True.
They don't. They just,
that is true.
You know what I mean? Like, if it's a good decision, you just go with it.
Right.
When you wake up to eat, you don't got to decide why.
Right.
You just do it, right? So justification for sure.
Okay. Well, you kind of bled into my next and last question. What do you think your strengths are and your weaknesses are?
My strength is my ability to teach people.
Okay.
To my desire to teach people. My speaking ability, obviously, right?
For sure.
My ability to process information and like accept things for what they are. Okay. There's a lot of people that struggle with the ability to accept. Right? There's a lot of people that are really smart. They know what's going on, but they'll let their ego get in the way of them acknowledging and accepting the reality before them.
True.
Which can put them kind of in a hamster wheel. They get stuck in a matrix, in an endless loop. And they can't get out of it because their mind keeps circling them back to the same point. Right? So accepting things, accepting people for who they are, not taking anything personal.
I gotta start doing that myself.
You feel me? It's not personal. Like, this is just how they are. This what they want to do right now. That's cool. If it ain't conducive to the movement, then keep it moving.
True.
I have a really good ability to detach myself from those types of things without having negative emotions left between the person and I or the situation and I.
Gotcha.
Because it's like, I get it. You know? So those are some of my greatest strengths. I think my greatest weakness is I have a very, very low like propensity for other people's emotions. Very, very low capacity for for dealing with other people's emotions because I'm so extremely logical that because emotions are not driven from a place of logic, they never make sense to me. Like
I can understand that.
Right, I can get it. I get you're crying because somebody died, right? But why are you crying so much? You know what I mean? Like, how are you supposed to do work if you're crying?
What do they call that? Empathy.
You know, I have empathy. I can't sympathize. I can't relate to you. But I can understand why you feel that way, right? But I don't feel that same way as you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of look at you and I'm like, hey, look, is this easy? Like, I get so dead set on solution because I don't process emotion the same way as you do.
My wife tells me the same thing. It's like, she's like, you never just want to listen. You're always just trying to go straight to solutions. Just trying to find straight solutions, you know?
Right?
But I understand.
So that's my greatest weakness because at times I don't even give myself the room to feel things. And sometimes you need it to keep you grounded.
True.
You know, you gotta feel things to stay balanced. You know, balance is key, and that's the big thing for me. Is I'm not really good at that. And when people get frustrated, it pisses me off bad. Like, you know, frustrated because let's say like you're trying something over and over again and you just can't get it right. And you just start getting mad, cussing. You might throw something. You might slap the desk. I'm like, yo, why are you acting like that? Like, chill out. Like, you know, it makes me mad because I kind of take that on.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I'm like, what's up, bro? You killing my vibe. You know, you killing my vibe. So if you're going to do that, you got to be in a different mood. You know, like my girl, like she'll be cooking and I hear her like, you know, cuss or something like that. I'll go in there like, hey, what's up, bro? Why you doing that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it makes me upset that you're upset with something that all you got to do is keep trying.
Right.
Just do it again. It's nothing. It's this easy, you know. So I think everything is so easy because I don't feel that way. So that's my weakness.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So I see you got the Wordsmith sweatshirt on here.
Oh yeah, it's a brand, my brother.
It's the brand.
Wordsmith. Okay. Got the merchandise. Got the guided journal coming on the way. And I got some more merchandise. Like that sound.
It's the highs and the lows.
You just gotta let it build.
Got to.
I let the beat build. I gotta let the beat build. Yeah, I gotta let the beat build. I let the beat build till the drums come in. It's kinda crazy cause the drums still ain't come in. I think I'm up to something. I mean, we really finna run like somebody got a gun. Moving with the stampede, we flowing with the crowd. They gon' ask me if I'm blowing up. I'm throwing up out my mouth. I grew up in the south, but I'm from up north. I swear to God, I'm out there thing, knocking heads off like the polo horse. I got the hammer on me, keep the hammer on me. If I been an elephant, I move around like I got me the Bama on me. Bama on me, never talking about the Kool-Aid jammer on me, but I'm hella cool like summers with Kool-Aid jammers, homie.
Okay.
I've been sitting down with the crown up on my head. Told them if I'm in the flow, I'm going sped. Yeah, I'm going stupid, going dumb, remedial, retarded. I done told them how to move. I'm the dumbest fucking artist.
Oh my God.
You gotta bleep that out. I know my mind is going crazy. Told them that we elevate, we delivering stork babies coming out the sky cause we prayed to the Lord. And he said, here's a son, make sure that you can afford all the things that he need, the things he believe, and make sure that you there for all the things he achieved. Make sure that you grind and you never ever leave. Make sure that you gon' show him how to survive the stampede. You is not Simba, you ain't never been lying to Mufasa. Told him we gon' move, I'm the new father. Feeling like a man that's shaking my dreads, dude, you a new roster. Told him how to get it, you know that my flow is too proper. Feeling like I'm Mr. Crocker, where the ferry's at. Asking about the bus, we swerving like where the ferry at. The ferry in Savannah, yeah, you know that been the reference. Them cobblestones what we walking on, you know we eating breakfast at the 2 cracked eggs. I'm finna crack me an egg. I done told them I'm watching my neighbors from over the hedge, never falling off the ledge. I could talk them off the ledge, I could talk them off the edge when they roll up under beds. I done had to get it, my pencil ain't got no lead, so I gotta have these bars flowing straight up out my head. Yeah, I know it's unfair, I never came prepared, but you know I'm feeling like Freddy, but Freddy really scared, cause he's seeing them things that I'm dreaming when I've been sleeping. He like, whoa, I can't even really creep inside his dreams, cause his man mental really shine too bright. I know that it's wild lightsaber shining all that light. I'm coming just to slay my demons. These ooh, I was about to cuss, but I gotta try to keep it too clean. Just like a man pulled up, I feel like Lightning McQueen. Or maybe Tomater with the piston cup with the tomato. Tomato, that is the motto. Pull up with the rocket power on my hip like I am Otto. Made it from the bottom like sleeping with gators in the grotto. Told them that we only live once, I guess that was the motto. You feel me?
Killing it, man.
Hey, alright, look, I gotta leave him on that note, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. You went in, you was going in, brother. Oh my gosh.
Off the skillet.
Off the skillet, man. Oh man, yeah, man. We appreciate you coming through, Wes Lee the Wordsmith, man. I mean, like, I'm honored, man, just to have you even be in the building. For sure.
It's love, brother.
Sure, yeah. Make sure you guys check out his latest project, To Whom It May Benefit, and also make sure you go and check out all his old projects also. And check out Bonzeye Productions.
Bonzeye Pros, BonzeyPros.com.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You'll see everything me and the team got going on right now, and it's incredible.
Yes, yes. Appreciate you guys. Peace.
Thank y'all for tuning in.